I'd like to talk to you about how to sell without being pushy and how to discuss things without arguing. If you take a marketing or business course, we'll spend a lot of time on this, but we're only going to have just a few minutes. It's called the objection cycle, and it all starts with an objection. Now, what is an objection? Well, most people think that objections are bad. Objections aren't bad. Objections are good. Objections show interest. For example, suppose you had in your mind that you wanted to buy a specific type of car. Let's say, I don't know, a Mercedes. You knew exactly what make you wanted, you knew exactly what year you wanted, you know exactly what color you wanted, you knew all the extras that you wanted in this car. You went to the lot and you saw the car of your dreams right there in front of you. It's the car you've always wanted. Now, right next to that car is a 1984 Holden Commodore in the most ugly color you've ever imagined. Are you going to spend a lot of time objecting to this Holden Commodore? No. Why? Because you're not interested. So the only thing a customer can say that's better than giving an objection is, I'll take it. You only object to things you're interested in. In this car, you're going to say, well, I don't know if I could afford it, when really you really want it, but you don't know how you can afford it. So that's good. That means the person is interested. So the first thing we need to do, once we realize objections are good, is we need to isolate the objection. Because the first thing a person says might not necessarily be the truth. Not necessarily because they're lying to you. Maybe they're a little bit embarrassed. Maybe they're not even sure themselves. But you need to find out what the one reason that's holding them back. So you would say something like this. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, the only reason you're not getting it is, and you repeat what they say. And a lot of times they'll say, yes, that's it. Or they'll say, well, actually, I don't know if we need a car. This is a sedan, we've got a lot of kids, maybe we need something we can have more of the family in, whatever it is that you're selling. There might be another objection. So you need to isolate. You need to say something like, so the major reason you're not getting it is X, okay? And remember, selling is something we're doing for them, not to them. We want to figure out what their needs are and how we, hopefully, can help them with those needs. If not, then we should send them on their way because we want to build a great long-term business. After we've isolated the objection, what's the next thing we're going to do? We're going to agree with them. And now there's two kinds of agreeing in the world. There's empathy and then there's sympathy, okay? What's the difference? Well, sympathy is feeling sorry for someone, okay? Empathy is being real with them but also understanding their position. For example, let's take the first time you ever broke up with a boy or girl when you were dating. Now, your parents had a choice. You were very upset. Your parents had a choice. They could be empathetic or they could be sympathetic. Sympathy meant they just sat and cried with you. Oh, gosh, this is so terrible. Oh, my God, how could this happen? Oh. But that's probably not what your parents did. And it's probably not what your good friends did either. They were empathetic. They said things like this. They said, oh, gosh, this is terrible. I wish I could do something to take the hurt away. I can't believe this is, I know how you feel. Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. And then they would say something like this. They'd be real with you. They'd say, but you're young. There's other fish in the sea. You're a great person. You're going to find your dream partner. Empathy, not sympathy. So if they say, hey, I don't think I can afford it, you can understand that. Money's tight. But the truth is, people can pretty much afford what they want to afford in Australia and America. We're lucky. So they just might need to tweak their budget. They could buy this, but that means they don't buy this. Simple. They could have this car, if it's a car, or this boat, or whatever, but it means they need to cut somewhere over here. Maybe they take less vacations. Maybe they go out less. Whatever. But the point is, they can afford what they want to afford within reason, if it's important enough to them. After we agree with them, what we do is we re-explain or offer a solution. So if budget's an issue, you might say something like this. Wow, I can really understand budget's tight. You know, interest rates are up. We've got all these things going on. The price of gasoline is through the roof. Wow. Well, what a lot of people are doing right now, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, is they're putting it on a payment plan. And that breaks it down into over a year. There's no interest on this plan, and it comes out in 12 easy payments of this amount right here. Then the last step is you ask for the order. Believe it or not, many salespeople don't ask for the order. They expect the person to just jump and beg them. I don't know what they think, but they think the customer is going to beg you to sell to them. The reality is you have to ask for the order. People want to be asked. It's a little bit like dating. They want to be chased a little bit. That doesn't mean pounding them into submission. Remember, we're doing this for them, not to them. And this is emphasized by the fact that we are listening to them, okay? We're finding out what the real issue is. Then we're agreeing with them. We're getting on their side. We're not going, want to get it, want to get it, want to get it. We're saying, would you like to get this together? Then we're re-explaining and offering them solutions. Then we're asking them to buy. If you're doing it like that, you're helping. And we need to remember, this is cyclical. It goes around and around and around. The first solution might not be the right solution. So you start again. You say, okay, so the only reason you're not getting it is the budget. Okay, so you don't think the 12 payments would work. You're nervous about that. Geez. Oh, okay, well, what a lot of people do is they do the finance, and then you go through that. Or you go through all the payment plans that your company has to offer one at a time so they're not confused, because a confused mind never buys. And then if none of those payment plans work, maybe you show them a less expensive product. But the point is, you're listening to them, you're agreeing with them, you're finding solutions, and then you're offering those solutions to them. If you follow this approach, you can discuss things without arguing, and you can sell without being pushy. If you'd like to hear more about how you can be successful with this model in selling and in dealing with people on a daily basis, you can contact me via my website, which is greenknightcoaching.com.au, my email, LinkedIn, Facebook, or you can just send me a text. I hope to hear from you soon.